Welcome to the Blinded Truth podcast, where real stories meet real healing. We are your hosts, Destinnee Vance and co-host.
Eric.
Today's episode is titled "Mistakes Don't Define You; They Reveal You."
Yeah.
We've all made mistakes, the kind that keep you up at night and replay in your mind, the kind you wish you could undo. And if we're honest, some of us aren't just hearing from them; we're living in them, wearing them like labels and carrying them like weight. That's what it is about the truth. What if your mistakes didn't come to define you, but reveal you? Your rooms, your patterns, and the places that need healing. Mistakes don't mean you're broken, they mean something needing attention. Today, we're getting real about regret, shame, and what it looks like to stop identifying with your lowest moments and start growing from them. Because your story didn't end at your mistakes. This episode is powered by Destinnee is by Choice Support Services because your journey, your voice, and your truth matters. Take it away, Foster.
Yo, that's crazy.
I told you this is your
It
thing.
was last minute though.
Mm.
Mistakes not defining you. For a long time, mine, I felt like they held a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I don't know about the defining part, but it altered a lot of things.
Like what?
How I responded to people, how I reacted to situations, and what I thought I can do about my life.
But I kind of say like I don't think it defines you, but like I think a lot of times, or especially like with a person like yourself, your mistakes always can remind you because just seeing like what you went through with, you know, trying to get employment, it was kind of like, well, dang, you want me to have this experience, but then you don't want me to have the background.
Yeah, but it's not like I think people try to use your mistakes to define you.
That's different.
Yeah, because they keep bringing it up or trying to hold it over your head or make you think that's what you are and that's what you're gonna ever be.
Mm-hmm.
Especially toxic people. They're trying to hold you in that box of your past or what you've done and the mistakes you have made. Even if you apologize and be like, I apologize for that mistake. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. And eventually they'll bring it back up. Like when they get mad at you or whatever. So it's not like people I guess some people do, but like a lot of people I don't think set out to just do stuff for the hell of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
circumstances cause people to do what they have to do sometimes, what they shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a certain point that you got to come to grips of what you've done and be willing to be accountable for it. And whether or not it's going to define you or not, it's just that it is what it is. And you got
Yeah.
to be able to move on, or you can be stuck in whatever you've done, because what you do don't make you who you become unless you stay what you're doing. That's
Yeah.
when you become that monster.
Yeah, we I remember teaching in the moms program at the jail, like the roller coaster of um redemption, I think it was called. And we talked about how it is, when you come home, it's like the honeymoon period where, everybody's excited that you're home and the kids are connecting well with you and you're in a good space and you're feeling hopeful and you're going to do all the things. And then there's a period where everything you do, so you start off high and then you come down, everything you do, they're starting to question every little thing that you do. And then your kids, or and sometimes, depending on the situation, the kids are not receptive when they come home. And then we talk about that low point. And then you get back up because sometimes you show them better than you could tell them. But then there's the point where they're like, are you going to get high again? Are you going to go hang with this person again? Are you going to go do this again? And I was like, then you go back down. And a lot of times people stay in that down part.
I mean, almost 3 years clean, man. My sister questioning me right now if I'm you,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't not normal for me not to use. It was like I used for so long that they expect me to use. So now it's like, no. And I'm not trying to prove. I'm just trying to prove to myself that whatever they got going on ain't got nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But does it make you angry when they say stuff like that? Because I know, like for a lot of people, it's the it's like I feel like that's the part of rebuilding your trust that is hard because trust is something that you just cannot get back a lot of times, and it's so hard to build.
mhm.
So when you've made mistakes, it's kind of like that's the piece that it's hard for people to build again with that person because it's been broken and it's not been broken like one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 million times. So like, do you get angry or do you feel some type of way or like what?
I mean, at first I'd be angry, and normally it ends with I'll talk to you later, until I process and be like, I can get it, I get it. I understand, like I probably relapsed 50 times,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess they're waiting for. I don't want to say they're waiting, but they probably wouldn't be surprised if I did it again. But more willingly, it won't happen. And I have built a lot of trust with them. I think they're more with not wanting to be disappointed again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to disappoint them, but in the same token, I don't have anything to prove to them.
Yeah.
You know,
But that brings up a good point of what you said. It just hit my mind. I think like trying to redeem yourself puts you in a pretty slippery slope because with some people, not saying you, with some people because they get in this I think it makes them get into this people pleasing. Some people they get into a people pleasing role because they're trying to prove their self. Where you, like you said, I ain't got nothing to prove, so I ain't about to sit here. I'll call you back. But with some people, they do get into this people pleasing role where it's like, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll take the drug test. I'll, say yes when I want to say no. Or they'll be on the phone arguing with them instead of saying, I'll call you back. So I feel like,
redemption. I can't redeem myself when I'm a new person. I'm not that old person, so I don't have anything to redeem. It's
mhm,
like when I stopped, changed my life, it became new. Especially if I'm a reborn Christian, the word tells me.
yeah.
Hmm. For real.
But how long did it take you to get to that point where you be like, I don't got nothing to prove to you?
I've always been like that, but it was with anger or with I don't care or effort. It wasn't with confidence in who I am now. Right.
Hmm.
I don't have anything to prove to you, and then it always came with the middle finger and some bad words. Just keeping it real. It isn't like I don't have anything to prove to you, but I love you, sis. You know what I mean? And then I call her back up, like, I'm not mad at you. She was like, excuse me, I don't give a fuck if you mad at me. And that's her. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm like, you are. So and I love her for that though. And on the flip side of that, because I think we all need people to hold us accountable.
Hmm.
And she's been my second mom my whole life, and I don't want to. I don't want her to think her hard work isn't. going unnoticed because she was there in the projects looking for me too, So I know she loved me, and I know she just want to make sure that I'm gonna be there for her when she need me.
Mhm.
And I believe that I am, and it's not, and it has nothing to do with redeeming myself. It's just being able to be, um, I guess, accountable. Someone that she can trust again, or she can depend on, or she know I'm gonna show up. Like my mom in the hospital, I showed up. I wasn't out there using.
Mhm.
So, and in 90, hmm, in 92, my mom had a heart attack, and I didn't know it because I was somewhere getting high, and I seen her while she was having a heart attack and didn't know it.
Mhm.
She got in the car and went to the emergency room, and she had a heart attack,
Mm.
and I was using. So now to be able to go to the hospital and sit with her and kick it, like
Yeah.
I guess that's a little bit of redeeming, but I'm not doing it because of that. I'm doing it because that's my mom. I love her, and I always want to be by her side. And she never let my mistakes define me. She never held them over my head. She's always there. She's my rock. And no matter what happens, she'll get to see me this way before she go to transition to another place.
Yeah. So, what do you think is the hardest part for people to deal with their mistakes? Of dealing with their mistakes.
Accepting the things that they do, because a lot of people coming from where I come from, I was just lucky I didn't have to, but they were subjected to do some crazy stuff to support their habits. And then you get clean and had to realize that you did all that.
Mhm.
And now you're on the other side, you're like, "Mm-mm-mm," you know? But I don't think that you should really beat yourself up with the things you did, because we all make bad choices. Some of us make worse choices than other people.
Mhm.
And if you stay stuck in it, that could be what keeps you stuck. Like
Mhm.
you'll never be able to grow. And it's the most beautiful thing is seeing somebody blossom into somebody that they never thought they could be.
Yeah.
You know, the most miserable thing is seeing somebody stuck at a place where you know that they can be much better.
Yeah. I do think acceptance is a big one because, like, you know, in today's age, everybody likes to throw into your face what you've done before. But I don't be caring. I be like,
Hmm.
if you wanna post it on Facebook, social media, that says a lot about you because I'm pretty sure there's some things you don't want people to know about. But at the same time, I feel like your mistake can be a testimony to somebody else. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you like what I went through when I made this mistake or how I felt. Like I don't when I have people come and ask me about getting an abortion, I tell them I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what it was like for me, because, and I don't, at first I used to hide that. I used to be like, I don't want nobody to know about that. But now I be like, it is what it is because I know some people that done worse things than I done done.
Yeah.
So if that's what you holding accountable, hold against me, then what you need to sweep behind your own door.
But it's like when people, I believe, like when people do stuff like that, I don't think it has anything to do with you.
No, it has everything to do about them.
And I say that because my family stopped inviting me to functions years ago.
Hmm.
But I didn't want to go. Never. I never went anyway. So how do you stop inviting me to? But I never went. You know.
Yeah.
So
My so our family is planning a family reunion. And me and my cousin was talking about it. She was cutting my hair and she was like, "Are you going?" I said, "Yeah, I ain't going." And I said, the crazy thing is my mama had brought up, hey, did you realize that, when y'all trying to plan it, that's when school comes back into play. So, they was talking about, she's like, Destiny and, talking about my cousins and stuff, all of us that got kids, they're gonna be trying to get ready for their kids to go back to school. And so one of my family members was like, "Well, we really ain't concerned about that." I said, "She told me I'm gonna come anyway. I don't even know why you
I
praying
mean,
about that because y'all like to know y'all like to have us show up just to see like what's going on, how you doing, just so you can go back and report." And it says I don't want to be around it. I don't want to be in a place where I feel like I have to have my guard up and have to have a guard for my kids because I don't know what y'all gonna say out y'all's mouth.
and like me and my mom and my sister, we was outcasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
We was in the projects, stayed in the projects, blah blah blah. Everybody else had houses, good jobs, money, blah 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 blah, right? But right now, I can say that we got better lives,
Mm-hmm.
and it has not have anything to do with material stuff. It's like we love each other, we're there for each other, we spend time with each other. Uh, our part of the family done grown. My mom's got three grandkids, about seven great grandkids. New got a brother in law. My nephew's got a girl. He's married. It's like we made our own
Yeah.
bubble where I think nobody can even judge us or hold anything that we've been through against us. Like out of all that, my sister's doing better than any of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like I'm doing better than them. You
Yeah.
know, because and I have a peace of mind. I don't have to never look down on people thing. I ain't got time for that. Because I know.
Do you feel like with since your mistakes are out there in the open,
Really.
that I'm just saying, do you feel like kind of like ain't nothing that nobody can really call you on because it's already like you already knew that, so why you call me on it? Because like I'm the family member where everybody probably pretty much know my business,
Okay.
and so but it's kind of like when I step into the room, ain't much you can really say about to me or about me because I already, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be appalling, like, oh my gosh, you knew that about me? Like, do you feel like ain't nothing you could shame me with?
It ain't really nothing they could,
Yeah.
regardless. Like first off, they don't know how to take me because they probably think I blow the building up. So I know they wouldn't say nothing to my face. But behind my back, I'm pretty sure. But I don't care. Who are they?
Yeah.
In my family, I love them, but their opinion don't mean anything because for one, they've never gave me no money. They never housed me. They never put food on the table or clothes on my back. So when I was homeless, where were they?
Yeah.
So they can't say nothing, but they can say, you was homeless, you was on drugs. Please, I tell the world that. That's part of the story.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to sit down and listen. I can tell you, a few things too.
Yeah.
Maybe it can help you become a better person. And this is not a shot at my family. It's just
Hmm.
like some stuff that's never been addressed. Of how I felt about how they treated us, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with it because, you know, I don't have to go to the events. Like, I don't have to go to no family reunions. I don't have to go to birthdays. I don't got to do none of that. I can do what I want to do
Yeah.
with the people that I want to do it with. And just because you're blood don't make you family.
Yeah.
And I love you, family. If you watching it, I love you. Don't get it twisted. Don't call my mom and my sister tripping. Because I will show up and all this stuff.
That's crazy.
Crazy, I know, but hey, it is what it is. Destiny, it is what it is.
Really.
I had to throw that in there.
That's crazy. Well, I think so. What is one thing that you had to work through when people try to? Because I know at some point, like if somebody threw something in your face,
Not
you,
cussing them out.
yeah.
I mean, you may not think it, but I've cussed a few people out of my life, like for real. I've only had to put my hands on a couple people. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like that. That ain't me. But I would cuss you out just like that.
You ain't like putting your hands on people.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love it.
You know, because man, you hurt somebody, you going to jail. I want to go for that. I want to go with someone that less 5 years or less. Malicious wounding starting at 10 to 20. No, sir, I can't do no 20 years. Pretty as I am.
No, I'm not high fiving you for that.
Yo, that was wild.
They starting to see a little bit more of you because that is crazy.
Yo, you the one wanting it for me to be like,
Yeah. So I was supposed to be behind the camera today, but things happened, and now I got to be in front of the camera today. I had a whole outfit picked out, pajamas.
that was dead.
Behind the camera, yes.
Yeah, but you had to go all the way out there and you need showing up in them people place in no pajamas. I know you wouldn't. That's crazy.
I showed up to the pastor's house in pajamas.
You sure did.
I sure did. I sure did. See, ain't nothing that you can call me on.
Hey, Pastor E, pray for.
Ain't nothing you can show me on. I don't care about that.
So, quick question: how you feel about tomorrow?
Easter?
Yeah, I know this gonna be aired later, but just give me a take.
It's Easter.
I'm saying it because of being judged on your past and things you're doing, and Jesus, that happened to him.
I don't have that. I don't let that. I don't let something like I'm not one of those people that go to church because like I gotta.
Well, I'm going because I got a new suit. How about that?
I don't go because it's like it's Easter. Like I'm a go regardless.
Are you gonna judge me for that?
No, I don't judge nobody when it comes to church. I don't judge nobody at all. So if somebody come in there literally and be like, and they look like they literally ran out of bed, I'm gonna treat them the best. We have a guy at our church now, a white guy. You can tell, he going through some things, and you could tell he felt probably a little bit out of place. And I speak to him every single time because I want him to feel comfortable when he comes in. You know what I'm saying? And I think like when it comes to holidays like um, Mother's Day, Easter, like I went to a Pentecost church that you knew there was people coming up in there. They probably was high, and I probably was one of them. And they was coming to support because their mama wanted them and their parents wanted them to come to church. So why are we so worried about what somebody got on when somebody is literally coming to church because they may be on their last, like this might be the last hope.
You remember you asked me the other day, have I ever went to church high? And I
Yes.
was like, one time I know
You probably had to go because your mama said come to church.
yep.
Right. You don't know what people is going through. And that ain't that I don't like. I like the fact that it's Easter. I like the fact that Mother's Day coming up, whatever.
But I didn't do it when I could go because I don't play with God. I don't play with him. So
But
I
I
didn't do
would have
that.
judged you. I would have like, hi.
So what are you going to resurrect in your life that's gonna help you for the rest of the year?
I'm still working on releasing control. Yeah. And not being in not how am I trying to put it? Working on trauma responses.
Mm.
Because I realize like when I'm rushed and I'm last minute, like I've always operated in I can work off a last minute rushness and stuff like that. Um and I'm realizing that that even puts me in a more panic mode. Like if I feel like I gotta rush somewhere, like yesterday I took my niece and nephew and them to skate rink. It's supposed to start at 11. To me, I'm supposed to be there at 11, but I was rushing, and I had to really get in the car and be like, I'll get there when I get there, because I'm realizing when I'm in that mode, it really is, um, it's really keeping me in a survival trauma mode.
Yeah.
So, and I used to hate those pieces about myself. Like I used to hate the part that I'm OCD. If something's out of place and I know it was in a little bit to this way, I used to hate that because in my mind, if I don't move it now, it's gonna keep bothering. I
Hmm.
used to hate that. I used to hate those pieces about myself. I used to hate because I gave my mama so much, people knew me as the trouble kid. They knew my brother and sister as the good kids. I used to hate that people would come up to her and be like, "How your daughter doing? The one that gave you so much trouble." And I used to cuss them out, like, "What you doing going up to my mom?" Literally, I find you on Facebook, tag you in the post. Now we there. But
That's crazy.
I shouldn't have
Mm-mm.
laughed because now people gonna think I'm crazy. But I used to hate those pieces about myself, and so I was happy when I got married and my last name changed because then they couldn't recognize, oh, that's the same
Do you
Destiny.
really think that just because your last name changed that the picture didn't?
No, it did not, because I was still the same person until I started working on those things. And
Okay.
so I had to, it wasn't until recently, I would say within the last 3 years of when I started really accepting like and saying like, okay, this is who I am, but I can kind of redefine that piece. Like, yes, I suffer with anger issues, but that doesn't have to define me of who I am. Yes, I have OCD, but that doesn't have to define me of who I am. So, like, it, accepting like this is who I am, but it doesn't have to define me.
Mm.
So I'm always constantly like, but I don't choose a Easter Sunday or something like that to be like, I'm gonna work on this. I try to choose every day to say, all right, I'm gonna work on this. Or I didn't do this today, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Because if we allow those minor mistakes and hiccups to, it's just like if you relapse, if you really define you and you sit in it, what is that doing? It's just causing you to dwell in something that is not bettering you. It's part of the process.
Well, I'm gonna work on not minimizing the things I do because I feel like it's minor, but to other people it could be major. I look at it like this is me thinking. Well, there's so much other stuff going on in the world that is nothing, you know.
But
But
that's because you've been through bigger traumas, bigger things in life that you've had to see where, like, and I could probably speak like for us, like the bigger stuff is probably like, oh, okay.
yeah, but it doesn't give me the right to just do it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, because it's like I know it's minor, but I don't have to do a lot of the stuff I do. I choose to, and then I'd be like, let's see how this turn out. And it don't never turn out good. I always had to sit in it for a long time and feel bad for a long time. But when I didn't care about people's feelings, I didn't care at all. But now I don't want to be the person that makes somebody feel crazy. You know what I'm saying? If I can help it, I'm gonna work on it. And respecting people's boundaries and their feelings and
And that
not allowing my past to make me think that I can do what I want to do, because I've been doing that for so long. And it normally got me in some bad situations.
I think there's this thing in psychology. I think it's Freud is who
Sigmund Freud?
I think he's the one that came up with this theory. But it talks about um the position of the child in the, if I wasn't talking about it, I would know. But it's like it talks about the first child, the middle child, the last child.
Yes.
Usually, depending on where that child is born, is how they act, how they respond. So you are the last child, and I'm pretty sure there's a huge gap between you and your sister.
4 years.
Okay. Which meant you are the lone wolf because y'all 4 years apart, just like my brother and me, we're 12 years apart, and then my sister and him are 6 years apart. Hold on. So a lot of the things that you've had to experience is alone. So to you, minor is minor because you probably ain't get in trouble for minor stuff. Just like my brother, minor was minor because it was dust underneath the rug. Like, it's okay.
I ain't
But
never
for
get in
us
trouble
older
anyway, though. I
kids,
never got in trouble.
oh, now we're in therapy session.
You trying to show us what you education you paying for?
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
But that's why you respond the way you respond, because a lot of stuff you didn't get in trouble for. But us older kids, probably like your sister,
I mean, I was
we
smoking.
got in trouble for everything.
My mom caught me smoking at 13, and that was a wrap. All my trouble days are over. I started drinking and smoking at 13 years old. And back then it was like, if you don't smoke and drink, do it at home because I know where you at. Because I know you can do it anyway. So my house was the party house on the weekends.
So let me ask you this. Because you minimize a lot of things, do you feel like that made you minimize your mistakes? And to you, they weren't like big deals, but to other people, it was like, has he lost his mind?
I don't think so because most of my mistakes I had to go get locked up for them. It wasn't like I was making a whole bunch of mistakes on the street. I make a mistake, I'm going to jail, I'm going to prison, I'm going to rehab. That was about it. I ain't hurt people. I hurt myself.
So did you, when you would go to jail, would you be like, all right, I'm gonna do these 30 days, I'm gonna do this year?
Yeah. I'm gonna do this 4 years and see what happens. Or I'm a get on trustee status, get the work release, knock some of this time off, and get back to doing what I was doing.
So you minimized it because you knew the ins and outs.
Like You know what?
Therapy
This
session.
is crazy, right? Because one time I had got locked up, right? I was in jail about 2 days. And from the jail, I had to pass a CVS to get to my where I hung out. I left jail, went in the store, robbed the store, kept on moving. You know, because I minimized why I was there for. So yeah, I will minimize a lot of stuff.
And this is why, and this is a good example, and thank you for sharing, because a lot of people don't understand why people do the things that they do. And then they wonder why they get back incarceration because they know the ins and outs and it's not as big to them until something big happens. Like I used to tell people when I had this one girl, she had her third DUI, and I said, "What is it going to take for you to kill somebody?" And it did not. She was like, "I ain't gonna kill nobody," and I was like, "Okay,
You do know that there's a such thing as black privilege.
yes,
I suffered from that back in the day because of my family last name and where I was at, and my people having a little bit of bread to keep me out of trouble and stuff. I was like, I'm above the law.
yeah."
I am the law.
Until you ain't.
It's fun
Until
until it ain't fun.
money can't buy. I had an adolescent DUI, second DUI. I was looking at him. I said, "Okay, so let me ask you this question: What is it going to take? You're under the age of 18, and this is your second DUI." But then you realize, and his mom could not understand why he kept doing the things he doing. I'm sorry, he's homeschooled, and you let him hang with you during the day.
But what changed that was when I went to court one time and the judge looked at me. He was like, he said, "Good morning, Mr. Foster." I was like, "Good morning, sir." He's like, "Your family money can't save you today." I said, "Okay." He said, "Me again." He was like, "You want to say anything?" I said, "Well, sir, do what you gotta do because I did what I had to do." And he said, "Okay, I give you 3 years in the state penitentiary." I had to go to another court, and I got to that court, and I knew he had told him, like, "Mr. Foster, I'm gonna give you 4 years in the penitentiary." So, but that changed my mindset.
Until something happened.
Hmm. So my thing was, don't do anything that I couldn't do the time for. So there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't do because I couldn't do the time.
Hmm.
That's why I wasn't into like carrying guns and
Yeah.
and hurting people and stuff like that. Because for one, I don't want to be that guy. I didn't want to hurt nobody. But two, I didn't. I know I couldn't do the time.
Or the thought of having to because now you done pull the gun out. My dad used to always tell us, "You gonna pull the gun out and shoot, you better shoot."
And when I used to have to tote a gun, I hated it because I knew eventually I would have to use it,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to have to use it. Um, and it wasn't because I wanted to, because of survival.
Mm.
And God made it so I ain't hurt nobody, I ain't killed nobody, I ain't named nobody. Because that'll be a mistake that I don't know if I can live with.
Yeah.
You know,
My youngest brother, the reason why he got locked up was because this girl came to his girlfriend's house and he was messing with both of them. But anyway, she caused some problems. Well, she pulled a gun out on him. Well, what did he do? He got a newborn baby in the house, like literally 3 days old. He pulled the gun out. He shot, and his girlfriend could not understand why did he shoot. I said because our dad taught us this ain't something that you gonna do because you want to show. If you gonna pull it out and shoot, you better shoot, and then deal with the consequences of what you just did.
yeah, because you don't want nobody coming back and doing you.
Yeah. So we was taught if you gonna shoot, shoot.
So I guess the thing is, be careful what you do because you gotta live with it, and it can't always not be a mistake. A lot of it could be a mistake, and I've been watching the news, man. So many people going to jail and prison for murder,
Yeah.
and that's gonna define you. Imagine having life at 19 or 21, or I can't imagine that. You know, I'm glad to say God is good at it, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really good too. I hate I've been really, really serious this episode, but you know, some things are needed to be, and ain't a joking matter.
Yeah. There's some things you're going through. I mean, if you done, you ain't proud of, but I mean, you ain't trying to hide it.
And I guess it is like me still working through some stuff because I knew the topic, but when I sat back and started talking about it, it kind of changed my mood, you know, um, because I know some of the things I didn't have to do and I shouldn't have done, but I done did it now and I can't take it back, and I gotta live with some of that stuff, you know.
What's the step where you isn't there a step where you come to grips to with the stuff you've done? I thought there was a step. Or maybe it's in celebrate recover or smart recovery.
I mean, the way you're wording it,
I can't think. Like it's not uh oh my god. It's not
don't make amends.
I thought that was but I thought it was the one where you have to face like what you had done.
That's step four when you gotta talk about it.
Okay.
But that's a step that always take a lot of people that gotta use it because you gotta come face to face with you.
Mm-hmm.
I did that a long time ago. It's a at Rubicon they had a philosophy. It says
What's Rubicon?
Rubicon was a treatment center in Richmond, but it's RBAK now.
Hmm.
It was like after time and space, we arrive here together to share the belief that there are no gains without pain. That to endure through life, you must struggle to meet the challenges, stand tall and straight in the faces of your worst enemy. That would keep you frightened, ignorant, and alone. That's yourself.
Hmm.
You gotta look in the mirror, and it's nobody to blame but that man in the mirror.
Yeah.
We try to, I guess, be better and do better. So your mistakes become less and less because you be more conscious of what you're doing, and you worry about what the outcome is, and not be like the hell with it, you know. Because a mistake can and make or break you.
Yeah.
So choose wisely, especially for the young people. Choose
Mm.
wisely.
Cause they are handing out time like it ain't like it's candy.
And if you're looking at this, use Pooh Shiesty as an example.
Oh my gosh. That's another episode.
Yeah, he
How
crashed. He really
how
crashed
some
out.
people they just mm. Well, you've just listened to the Blinded Truth podcast. Mistakes don't define you, they reveal you. Powered by Destiny is by Choice Support Services. If today's conversation hit you, sit with it. You are not your worst decision. You are not your lowest moment. And you are not disqualified because you get it wrong. Your mistakes didn't come to label you, they came to show you. They show you where you needed healing, show you where you needed growth, show you who you could become if you choose differently. Because growth starts when excuses end, and healing begins when you stop hiding from what hurts you. So don't run from your mistakes, learn from them. Don't let them break you, let them build you. There is purpose in your process. There is power in your accountability. And there is freedom on the other side of facing yourself. Remember, your destiny is by choice, not by chance. And until next time, keep walking in your truth. Bye.